friends, welcome back to Scowled. So it is month 3 of 2020 and everyone has either lost their mind or is going to lose their mind in the next 2 weeks while we were all quarantined. And I am one of those people that is pretty close to losing my mind. I don't like being inside for very long. I'm used to working a lot. I'm used to seeing a lot of people every day. Not seeing a lot of people every day has been kind of hard, and I'm sure everyone can relate. So to combat that, I'm going to continue to not see people, but instead make a sewing project. So to combat that, I am going to still not see real people, but instead make a sewing project. This is the first time I've brushed my hair in like 3 days. First time I've worn makeup. Not the first time I put my contacts in though, so at least I have that going for me. I'm not gonna lie though, I did contemplate only straightening the front parts of my hair and leaving the back, but I need to save that for like day 10 or 11. Day 3 is way too early for me to start being that lazy. I didn't have a chance to make it out to a thrift store in a while, but I was so lucky that a friend of mine decided to clean out her closet and gave me pretty much everything she didn't want. So now that is either in my closet as she gave it to me or it is a sewing project. One of the things that she gave me was this really nice floral print, kind of like a skater dress, and it had some pieces cut out of the sides in the back. So I decided that I wanted to make it 2 pieces. So here's the dress that I'm working with. I really love the pattern. It's very floral, very cute. As you can see when I go to turn around, it has some open pieces in the back, which I think are adorable, and I really want to keep them as much as I can. You may also notice the dress is like a little bit tight on me. I don't like where the seam hits on my stomach, so by making it a skirt, it's definitely going to change that and make it better. I don't really wear a lot of dresses. I don't know why. I don't have anything against them, and I actually think they look really cute. I just personally don't wear them that often. And I think I'd wear it more if I cut it either into 2 pieces and wore the shirt and skirt together, or if I wore them separately. If you know anything about sewing, you're going to know that this project wasn't actually too hard to orchestrate. And if you don't know anything about sewing, this is totally something that you can start off with. It's a really easy project to start. You don't have to have a lot of knowledge, you just have to know how to sew straight, which, if you're like me, might take you a few months to learn. Not saying that it did, but it did. I got myself ready with all the essentials that I need to start a new project. It's funny that I chose my teacher mug considering that I can't even be teaching right now. And then I carried it over to my table with my project and my buddy Bob Ross, and we are ready to go. So here is the dress close up. As you can see, there's a seam that goes down the middle, which will make it really easy just to cut along and make sure I have a straight line. Here is me cutting along that seam. I don't recommend holding a camera in one hand and scissors in the other. It doesn't make for a very straight cut, so I'm eventually going to put them down and just cut it as I usually would. Here are my 2 pieces. I'm going to start with the shirt, so I'm going to fold up the skirt and just put it off to the side for right now, so I can come back to it in a few minutes when I'm done with my shirt. So here's the piece I'm working with, and here you can see I cut right along the serged edges. It's going to make it really easy to just sew right over, and it's going to look really nice. So here, as you can see, I'm showing you how I'm going to fold my fabric over twice so that the serged edge is kind of encased in the fabric. This way it won't fray, I'll be able to wash it, it's not going to ruin anything. So I'm just going to reach over and grab a pin from my buddy here, Esmeralda, and pin it down. I learned that you actually are able to sew through serging, so this time my trial and error method actually worked. So here's my skirt. I'm actually going to do something very similar that I did to the shirt. I'm going to fold down the waistband inward, and I'm going to stitch it down, kind of making another casing, but this time there's no serging to make a casing over. So here's my skirt flipped inside out. I'm going to fold it down once to fold it, and then you'll see there's still a raw hem if I do that, so I'm going to have to fold it over again, which is really hard to do with one hand, so after I go around and do it, I'll just show you how it turned out. Unfortunately, after I finished the project, I tried it on and the skirt was too big. I didn't think through that the only thing that was keeping the skirt part of the dress up is that it was attached to the top. So now that it's detached, it's a little bit too big, and it just slides right down. So here is my quick solution to that issue. I'm going to take the corners on each side of my skirt and fold them in, and then I'm just going to do a quick stitch across the top. Just make sure if you're doing this that you line up the folded part with the top of your fabric so it doesn't stick out. If I was making that skirt for anybody else but myself, I probably would have unstitched everything and then cut it and hemmed it together and really taken it in the right way. But because it's just for me and my standards are a little bit lower when I'm making stuff just for me, I did the quick and easy fix. I have to go in and kind of do some kind of fix to make it stay up but still look cute. I want to actually be able to wear the skirt and not just have it in my closet and say, oh, I'll wear it someday, and then never have it happen. So I'm going to show you this little fix that I came up with. Even though this is an easy project, I really want to take the time to say that just because it's easy doesn't mean it's not worth sharing, it's not worth trying, and it's not worth being proud of. All forms of art are valid. I feel like that might be something that Bob Ross might say. I might have stole that from him, I'm not totally positive, but I feel like that's something that Bob Ross might say. I don't know for sure, I don't know if I stole that from him, but it's true. Just because it's a simple project doesn't mean that you can't still be really proud of yourself for completing it. After making that small fix, I was finally ready to show you my grand reveal. I also think that my showing of my final products are finally starting to get a little bit less awkward. I also finally think that my showing of my final products are starting to get a little bit less awkward. I don't really know how to model. I've never modeled anything before, so I always feel so weird about it. And maybe by the end of these next 2 weeks, I'll be really comfortable with it. One thing I wanted to say is if I could go back and do over this project, and I'm sure all of us, wish you could go back and do over a project, but before I stitched down my edges, I would have ironed them first. That's a really good trick to make things look more professional than they are. It makes it look like you have a cleaner edge. It makes everything look smoother. It looks, it just looks better, crisper, I guess would be a good word for it. I didn't do that, and it doesn't look bad, but it definitely could have looked better if I would have ironed it. All right, guys, thank you so much for watching. I really appreciate it. Let me know if you have any ideas for me. Look out on my Instagram. I'm gonna be posting polls, giving you updates on what I'm gonna be making, also taking a ton of suggestions. So please suggest stuff. I'm gonna run out of ideas very shortly. I do have an order of fabric coming in and some thread. It's kind of stuck in Amazon limbo right now. I ordered it a few days ago. It says it's supposed to be here on Sunday, but I don't know how things are going to change between now and then. I know they're constantly closing things down. Every morning I wake up to something new, some different change. So if stuff is still being shipped, because I know this is very much a non-essential, if it's still being shipped, I'll get it Sunday and I will show you guys my new projects. If not, I'm really going to be changing up the stuff I have in my wardrobe right now. Everybody enjoy your time in, and I will see you next time.